the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Saken kan kere konso baba konso felino. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben.
Hey, let's get it started. Welcome back to Wanna Bet. I think the only daily sports wagering game show in existence, and it's one where we want every single day for the winner to be you. We spend our time grinding and handicapping every day, try to present our best bets in a format that we hope you will enjoy. And you can play along at home. And if you've been tailing us, you've been doing pretty well. If you're new to the show, pretty easy. First, second, third down are our three favorite bets that we've placed since the last show. Third down, kind of in order of importance. Third down's the money down in the NFL. It's our money down as well. Fourth and longs, where we look at things that are a long ways off, like futures bets or long shot prospects. Today, we will break down the NFC West. The NFC West. We've been breaking down the NFL by division, plays that we've made there. And our dog of the day, the Seattle Mariners. Slight dogs today to the Yankees. What are Ben and I doing with that game? Beltway Ben, before we go any further and before I have a coughing fit, how did we do last night? So there you have it. All in all, together, we broke even. Trying to avoid having any long losing streaks here. And to this point, we've been able to. We continue to make really good returns for you on soccer. Another plus money bet. That was no sweat. That was 2-0 about 20 minutes in. And PSG held Real Madrid down and suffocated them. We did not hit the Padres bet. Dylan Cease got lit up. But if you listen to me and you like that bet, I said also get on Dylan Cease over 6.5 strikeouts. He had 8. He always has 8 when he faces Arizona. And Beltway Ben, anything that stood out for you last night?
Yeah, no, Riley Green did come up with a big opportunity early in the game, first and third, no outs, struck out. His struggles continued a little bit. And then Paige Beckers needed 2 points in the fourth quarter from her. Thought that one was an easy cash, and we just couldn't get there. She missed like 4 threes in the fourth quarter itself. So tough loss there with her, but again, still profitable. And then PSG, I know you cashed on their money line, but I did give them out to win the tournament, which you can get at much worse odds than you could have yesterday.
Yeah, it's really almost not worth betting at this point. But I do have some other ways to play that game. If you subscribe to our Discord, you can find it right in my bio, right on Twitter, if you're watching this on Twitter. And also, I crushed the MLB last night. Unfortunately, the Padres game's the only one I got wrong, and I like that a little bit more than the Red Sox on the run line and a couple other ones that cashed easy for us. But you can find all of our picks that we make in real life on the Discord as well, the Super Discord with our buddy Eric Casillas. All right, Beltway Ben, what do you have in first down today?
Yeah, first down here, I'm going to go with Corey Seager over 1.5 total bases. I don't love doing this with guys who are hitting the ball the way he is right now, right? He's got 2+ total bases in 4 straight games. You always feel like somebody's due to kind of fall off. But he's facing Kashanowitz, who, again, he pitches for the Angels, so you know how I feel about him. But lefties are hitting 300 against him with 13 home runs. It was a brutal June for Seager where he hit just 188. But all of a sudden in July, he's been on fire. We know what he's been doing lately, like I said. And you look at him, 1 for 2 against Kashanowitz in his career. Last night he got hit in the hand. I was a little worried. Hope he's still in the lineup today and we don't get a pinch hit opportunity. So if you want to wait till you see the starting lineup and then play it, the odds aren't going to change much. He'll be around -120 to -125 for total bases, regardless if he's in the lineup or not. I don't think there's going to be a big change there. So I would take Corey Seager over 1.5 total bases, but I'd wait until we see the lineup first.
Excellent. First down for me, we are staying in soccer and we are going to the Women's Euros. And look, a lot of times when you're betting tournaments, you're really betting situations. So why do I like this bet so much, both teams to score? Well, Norway have been class. They've already won the group. They are going through. They know they're going through as a group winner. And they know, that they're going to face the second. They already know which group they match up with, obviously, and they know that they're going to get someone who didn't win a group. So you would say, well, they don't have that much to play for. So that's true. And they're going to rest some people, and they're a good enough squad that I like their depth. And some of those depth pieces are going to want to push for more playing time. And this is a team that's accustomed to scoring goals, and they're going to want to continue to score goals. And I don't think they're going to lay down for Iceland. But Iceland, who had a tough tournament, are not a terrible side. They drew 1-1 and 0-0 with this very Norway side that's run roughshod through this group just a few months ago, weeks ago, really, in Nations League, which, again, is not anything to the stature of this, but they weren't just throwaway friendlies. It's an Iceland squad that has traditionally produced talent, and it's an Iceland squad that's yet to score. You're going to tell me they're not going to sell out in a match that effectively doesn't do anything for them other than pride to score a goal in this one? I also don't think Norway is going to be totally stuck in to try to defend for 90 minutes. So I like both teams to score in that match. Second down, Ben. I think we lost your audio, Ben.
There we go. Taylor Ward, same game here, over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at -135. Taylor Ward, 4 for 10 in his career against Patrick Corbin with multiple extra base hits. We've talked about Corbin time and time again on the show. At one point this year, we thought he was back. Everybody thought he was back, and he looked pretty damn good. But now he's got a 4.47 ERA on the road, and I'm not buying him. I think there's going to be a second-half fall-off, especially when he's pitching away from that Rangers Park. Ward slugging .516 against left-handed pitching, and in July, all of a sudden, he's got a .324, .439, .382 slash line. The power hasn't been there, but we know it can come back for him at any moment. And just with the average, the way he's hitting with guys in scoring position, I do expect a good day from Taylor Ward here. So over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, -130. Had a big hit last night in that game, so I think he continues the success here.
Yeah, I think he can match that lefty. Second down for me, I am an MLB as well. And look, we got to be careful here. There's some weird scheduling quirks. So this is the second game of the doubleheader for the Mets. The Mets are playing the Orioles right now at noon. They turn around and play again at 5 p.m. After a rain out last night. Sagano's pitching the second game for the Orioles, and that's really all I care about here. I'm not sure who the Mets are going to have out there yet, and it doesn't really matter. Sagano, his last 7 outings, is a 6.75 ERA. He's allowed 53 hits in 34 2/3 innings. Yeah, 53 hits. He's got a whip close to 2. He's supposed to be the Greg Maddux of Japan and this amazing command artist. Well, the problem is he misses his spots quite a bit. He tends to miss center cut, and the balls get hit 450 feet. You look at him at home. He's allowed 11 home runs in 44 innings pitched, the league batting .288 off him at home. His last 4 starts at home, since he's really fallen apart. And remember, he's used to the 6-man rotation of pitching 1 day a week in Japan. Here, new ball, hotter conditions, AL East, Camden Yards, muggy day, ball flying, good Mets lineup. He's got no confidence lately, and he's already starting to break down. 17 earned runs allowed in his last 7 home starts. That is a span of 21 1/3 innings pitched. I don't really care what happens in the first game. I think the Mets will get to him for at least 3 runs in however long he's out there. I don't think he's going to be out there for 5. And I think the Orioles, coming off a terrible loss the other night, are going to have to manage this first game with Morton all in to win it, which means you're going to get probably Sagano maybe out of there by the 3rd or 4th, and the underbelly of the Orioles bullpen as well. So that 2.5 feels comfortable to me. Third down, Ben.
Yeah, we'll stick to the MLB for third down, and I'm going to go with Jurickson Profar over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at -135. Now, Profar, of course, was suspended for all those games, and he's come back. And since coming back, small sample size, but he's 5 for 11 with the home run against left-handed pitching. And this is like, if you look to previous years, right, he's a switch hitter, but he hits much better against left-handed pitching and with a lot more power. The Braves offense came to life last night, and he's sitting in the 5 spot behind guys like Olsen, Riley, and even Baldwin, who's had a really, really good year. Ozuna's behind him, and Ozuna isn't having a good year at all. There's no way to put other way around that, but he does hit for a lot of power and can drive the ball. If we get Jurickson Profar on first or second, Ozuna is very capable of driving him in. Tonight, Profar gets to face J.P. Sears, who's allowed 16 home runs to right-handed hitters this season. We have the switch hitting part. If, the righty comes in, we get him on the left side. And again, he hasn't been as good from the left side through his career, but it's not a pinch hit opportunity where this guy's hitting in the 5 spot just to face the lefty and he's coming out. He's going to sit there all game. He'll hit from both sides. And if a righty does come in and he's worse against lefties, we will get Profar and a better opportunity there. So I like him over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at -135.
So I'm playing Gwinnett against Norfolk, one of his final tune-up games coming back from the suspension. We were sitting right on the first base line. He can still move. He's a guy who can still beat out a squibber for an infield hit and then obviously make things happen on the base pass from there. Third down, I'm going to international soccer. We are running out of international soccer inventory, and you want to jump on this PSG money line right now. I have a hard time thinking they don't handle Chelsea, and I think, you want to play them, have a lead at the half, you could do that. For the -160, I'm on the money line. I bet by the time this kicks off on Sunday, it's much closer to -200. They are the prohibitive favors to win this tournament, and they've just been destroying people, and they've been destroying quality opposition. 4-0, 2-0, 4-0, 2-0. They did have one setback, 4-0 prior to that. They're in form. They clearly care about this tournament. They're coming off the Champions League win. Look, Chelsea's going to give them more of a test, I imagine, than they got from Real Madrid. But they're to me, they're the class of the world right now. And I don't see them wanting extra time. I don't see this going to penalty kicks. I think this is decided in 90 minutes. They've been strangling these matches early. And again, I think Chelsea will have some tactics in place to try to keep this, 1-0, 2-1, something like that. But if you are looking for a parlay, I would parlay this with over 2.5 goals in this match, and you can get it at +115 for now, not by Sunday. All right, Beltway Ben, 4th and long. Obviously, NFL futures bets, you're going to have to wait a long time for them to cash. But that doesn't mean that you can't cash big time and you can't cash plus money. And as we talk about, I always am looking for plus money returns on futures. What are some NFC West bets that stood out to you?
Yeah, I got 4 props here that I'm looking at. And I'll start here with Marvin Harrison Jr. 1,000+ receiving yards, we can get it at +110. 885 last year. And you didn't take this kid 4th overall to have him go under 1,000 yards or to be 30th.
He better not, brother.
In the NFL
he better not, or people getting fired.
Absolutely. This was a guy who his freshman year at Ohio State, we're turning around saying this kid could be playing in the NFL right now. He's that good, and he did it every single year. He did it in the big games. Now you're going to Arizona for year 2, and they didn't really do much in the offseason, right? Quez Watkins, like that. That's like a 4th guy. That's not what it is. And McBride, I get it. McBride's their top target, if you want to say. Marvin Harrison's their guy. I know they extended McBride, and I know he's had a very, very good early career. He's still going to be a top guy, right? Murray likes throwing to the tight ends. Marvin Harrison Jr. is a true wide receiver 1. With 17 games, he played every game last year. And it was, Kyler Murray was healthy last year. He played the full season, but getting used to a rookie in his first year takes some time. Now we're getting year 2. Everything we're hearing out of that camp and from mandatory minicamp and all of that stuff was saying that Marvin Harrison is looking good and will be the bona fide number 1 wide receiver there, which is no surprise. You have to get this kid the ball. 885 last year. He has to get to 1,000. I would expect him to be, top 20 in receiving yards this year. Last year, he was 33rd. There's no way we don't see growth, barring injury. So I like Marvin Harrison, 1,000+ yards of plus money. Next play is a little bit riskier. Kenneth Walker, 1,000+ rushing yards at +175. Rookie season, he did it. The next year, with just 15 games, he had 905. And then last year, 12 games, 573. But more than those games, like he was injured all season. Yeah, and when he was on the field, he was banged up. This was a second-round pick, and I get it, new coaching staff, everything like that. But between him and Charbonnet, it would, to me, be more of a Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon situation, right? Charbonnet's a little bit of a bigger back, and I think that Kenneth Walker can have the explosive play and do a little bit more for them. This is year 4 for him. We should see 1,000+ rushing yards from him. And even if we don't, +175, there is some value there. So I would go with 1,000+ rushing yards. Jason, that's fine. You don't have to take it.
I can't get behind that one. That one.
That's fine.
There's too much variance from week to week to me in workload there. You know what I mean? That gives me a little pause. Availability, workload, new quarterback, new offensive minds. I don't know. Can he stay healthy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll still be going with that one, though. Plus 175, 1,000+ rushing yards from Kevin Walker. Next, we are going to Christian McCaffrey, 7.5 rushing touchdowns at minus 108.
He better get him early. He better get him early before he gets hurt.
You're getting this one because of the injury.
Yeah.
And again, 14, the last time he played a full season. We saw him miss almost all of last year and then come back and deal with the injury again. But the year before, when he goes to San Francisco, he gets 6 in 11 games. This is big injury play. That's the only thing holding him back here. If he is on the field, we saw the numbers that he put up when he's on the field. Again, big win. But even in Carolina, right, the year he played 16 games, had 15 rushing touchdowns, and that was in a much worse situation. So I like Christian McCaffrey over 7.5 touchdowns at minus 108. And then lastly, Puka Nacua, 1,250 receiving yards at plus 100. Like, this guy is different. We saw his first year, him shock the world, 1,486 receiving yards there on 105 receptions. So Cooper Kupp's gone. And again, Cooper Kupp, as much attention as he took, you're getting Devontae Adams, who at this point in their careers, probably similar. Maybe I might even give, a slight arrow to Devontae Adams there. So I do like Puka Nacua at plus money. Last year, only had 990 receiving yards, played 11 games. So if he plays 13 to 14, we should be clearing this. Stafford is going to throw his way time and time again.
I would play this 1,500 and above. Meatball, 1 unit play. I am with you there on Nacua. And as for CMC, I would play the touchdowns. I wouldn't play the yards. Because he can get the touchdowns. He can get the touchdowns in 6 weeks. Like, it's not out of the question he gets 8 touchdowns the first 6 weeks of the season or something close to it. The yards, though, give me pause. I am playing team props. I played team props here for the most part in this segment. That's just sort of where I am in my process. Let's go to San Francisco. Let's start there. I'm fading them this year like I faded them last year. I don't feel as vociferously about this as I did a year ago, but I don't think McCaffrey's making it through the season. I don't think Ayuk's making it through the season. I don't think Trent Williams is making it through the season. It's a bad secondary. If they want to prove to me, it's like if they want to change my mind. For me right now, it's a bottom 10 secondary. The pass rush is Bosa or bust, and Bosa's reached the stage of his career like his brother did, where he seems to be less effective than effective, more hurt than not hurt. I don't buy them on the trenches on either side of the ball. Brock Purdy making big money is a completely different proposition. This is a team that's in decline, that refuses to admit it, that keeps buying down and doubling down on these older players who haven't been available. Getting Debo off the books is nice, but I think it's a tough division. I think the balance of power in the NFC is shifting, and there's teams on the come, like Washington was last year. I think Green Bay will bounce back. And to me, this is the third best team in the division. I think they're missing the playoffs. Give me the LA Rams then to win this division, Beltway Ben. I am part of the Ramily. They've got an elite coach. They've got an elite quarterback. The defense made huge strides last year. The defense is now the best unit on the team. I think they will get a little better on the back end. That had to happen. They knew that had to happen. And much like they invested full throat into the front seven the year before, I think they are better on the back end. They can run the ball. They can throw the ball. They have one of the most innovative play callers and play designers in football, and Sean McVay, and he's now able to play complementary football. It's not all one-sided. They have a Super Bowl pedigree, and the idea that Shanahan owns McVay, that's kind of out the window now. I like that value. You could have got that over plus 200 a few weeks back. I still like it at that number. So if San Francisco's not winning the division, they're not making the playoffs, and I said this is a better division, who's filling the void? Give me the Seattle Seahawks to make the playoffs. They went 10-7 last year, Beltway Ben, with a rookie head coach in an offseason in which they did nothing. They just evaluated the holdovers from Pete Carroll, and they didn't make many splash moves, and they played it out with Geno, and I think they've upgraded significantly at quarterback. Geno was bad playing at home. He was a bad quarterback at home. He turned the ball over. He turned the ball over in critical moments. He never really seemed that comfortable in that stadium for whatever reason. I think they upgraded with Darnold. Year 2 for that defense will be better. McDonald knows how to evaluate secondary talent. And then you look at what he did in the draft, he's going to put those chess pieces into positions to succeed. Did I mention they won 10 games last year with a rookie head coach and Geno as their quarterback? They started to restore a little bit more of a home field advantage, even though the quarterback had better road splits than home splits. I'm not sure, like from play to play, who's going to be running the ball, but we know McDonald, coming from a Harbaugh coaching family tree, will be adamant about staying balanced offensively. I think Seattle's a playoff team. And give me the Cardinals under 7.5 wins for plus 150. Kyler Murray fades in the second half of the season all the time. He is obviously an injury risk. I think people are hyping the defense a little bit more than they should. And I think San Francisco is still a better team than them. I think division wins could be hard to come by. And that's a coach who's probably coaching for his life. I'm not sure that's going to bring out the best in them. So that's where I am in the NFC West. Overtime. It is time to do our dog of the day. And that's the Seattle Mariners, who are slight underdogs on the money line. We play a little game here. I've got 3 dogs. We've got the little guy, Chopper. That's if you're sprinkling. We already saw Meatball. If you're making a 1-unit play, that's a Meatball play. And then we got our Husky mix, GG. If we're going 1.5 units, 2 units, we're going GG. And the Mariners, this is interesting to me, Beltway Ben. Stroman, who's really struggled. Brian Wu, who's been very good for the Mariners. We know how this series has gone thus far. It's been one-way traffic for the Yankees, and the Yankees' bats are back. However, I did back Seattle today. Did you find your way into a Seattle Mariners bet here as our dog of the day?
Yeah, I would say a sprinkle. Nothing confident to put on it. To get to Brian Wu real quick, I still remember before the season talking to you, telling you I thought Brian Wu would be getting Cy Young votes this season because he's that good. And we talked about, big thing we were saying, home, he's great, right? He's going to be great at home. What can he do away from that ballpark? 3.47 ERA on the road, which isn't bad.
Not bad.
Which isn't bad by any means. But that 1.8 at home is a little different. And we see how dominant he is at home. Gets a little bit more swing and miss on the road, but that isn't important here. We just need, less runs. We need the Mariners offense to continue doing what they've been able to. And Stroman, the reason that I am sprinkling on this, I would have just sat this one out. Like Marcus Stroman, and we saw after the A's outing, he comes out and he's talking to reporters saying, "Man, I knew that's what I was." And he's a very confident guy, but he's not a very good pitcher at this point in his career, just to be quite honest. Right before the injury back in April, gave up 9 earned runs in 2 starts, gets hurt, comes back, has a good outing against the A's, which I didn't see coming. That I think it was a Saturday or a Sunday. And then, following the next outing against the Mets, he did give up 3 earned in 5 innings. 3 earned in 5 innings today, that might get the Mariners a win. And at minus 140 again, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on it, but it isn't an official play for me.
Great minds think alike. I'm on this as well, and I am on it a little more than you. It is a 1-unit play for me. I am backing the Mariners. Same bet as you, first 5 money line. I think Yankee Stadium is in Stroman's head, Beltway Ben. 7.84 ERA at home this year. And lest you forget, last year, 5.31 ERA in the Bronx with an opposing slash line of 277, 340, 465. That is an 805 OPS. Seattle has been swinging the bats pretty good in this series, just not as well as the Yankees have. And I think there's going to be some regression for the Yankees bats, at least early in this game. And I don't buy Stroman at all, and I'm going to continue to look to fade him. And that injury to Clark Schmidt puts a little more pressure on all those starters now. Everybody gets bumped up a little bit, and I just don't think he's cut out for the Bronx at this stage of his career. So I am on the Mariners as well. I looked at Wu strikeouts and some other things. This was what I like the most. It's a 1-unit play for me. And we are cheering for the M's today. Well, that has been a Thursday edition of Wanna Bet. We appreciate you guys, as always, for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow. I've got some CFL plays I'm looking at. There's MLB action. There's always future markets we're looking at. And I think we might play a little different game tomorrow as well, Beltway Ben. I think we might start focusing in a little bit more on some quick hitter bets that you can cash on in the first 3 innings of a game, the first hour of a game. Not everybody has the attention span to sit through all these. So probably unveiling a new feature for you tomorrow in overtime that we hope will continue to have you cash with us, because we have been cashing and we know you want to bet.